Hello, everyone. We're back. It feels so weird, but good to be streaming again. I had to like actually write down a little list to make sure I had turned everything on. But yeah, we're back. Hi, Alex. Hi, Rick. How are you? I hope your week has been good. I feel like I detached from reality for a long time, and now it's weird to be back. I can get into a routine and like eat my normal food again. You know what I mean? But yeah, my trip was awesome. I'm so glad I went on it. Hold on, I gotta make sure all my audio stuff is like decent. Everything is different. I think CC wasn't on that. Wait, I think CC wasn't on that list. Wait, what do you mean? Do you mean closed captioning? It says it's on. Hold on, let me refresh it. Okay, closed captioning, hold on. It says it's on. Let's stop, let's refresh. Is it on now? It should be good. Oh no. Doesn't show for me? Oh no. Well then we're in trouble. Let me refresh the page. Reload. Okay. Yeah, is this linked to the right account? This is what I normally do. Why is this being weird? Oh wait, it's on now. Okay, I'll try reloading too. Okay. I see my word. Before I wasn't seeing my actual transcription and now it's there. Yay! Okay, good, it works. Thank you for letting me know. I just would have kept going thinking it was fine. But yeah, no, vacation was awesome. I can officially confirm, not like it was a question before, I'm a mountain person. I'm sad living in Florida, in the land of the heat and the beaches. Because I went on a lot of hikes. I was a tree hugger. I sat among the trees and listened to bluegrass music. It was just awesome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to hear it was awesome. Yeah, thank you. It was a much needed break. Funny enough, I thought I was going to be done with my film by now too, which I'm not. But it also seems like it's slowing down. So I have no clue what's going on with that. But it will have to wrap up by June, because come June, my life gets crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. My summer's gonna be nuts. But I'm gonna still stream. So you will all be there for all of the craziness. I went to the mountains because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and to see if I could not learn. This sounds like a Ralph Waldo Emerson or something. And to see if I could not learn what it had to teach and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I feel that. I feel that in my soul. Every time I go to the mountains, we were talking about this with my parents, where Henry David Thoreau, that too, the transcendentalist movement, I know some people call it hippy dippy, but like that stuff vibes with my soul. Though changed it from woods to mountains. Yeah, I mean, honestly, both are the same. We don't really have like woods in Florida. Like, okay, people would argue that we do. Like, yes, there are groups of trees, obviously, and wooded areas, but the kind of foliage we have is very, very different than if you go to Europe or like literally anywhere else in North America. I guess that's not true. The West Coast trees are pretty damn different. But Florida's not like the rest of the East Coast. It's very odd. And okay, so we were talking to my parents, like speaking of that quote that resonates very much with me. We were talking with my parents about how my husband and I both feel like, oh yeah, the mountains like call to us. We feel so much more like at home there. It's way more our pace and vibe, generally speaking. And we were talking about like choosing places to live or where to be versus like just kind of settling and being okay with it versus like feeling a calling to a certain area. And it was interesting. I feel like the mountains are the first time I felt a call to the area, and it's been really consistent for, well, I mean, since I visited, which is probably like 5 or 6 years ago at this point. So it's just interesting. It's interesting how you can feel a way about a certain area, and maybe that is just me being a little woo. A little woo woo. But I feel it, damn it. I'm gonna own it. But yeah, how are you all? I hope life is good. Rick, I know you saw it on Discord, but I tried the Deluxe McCrispy and it was delicious. I want to get it again. Especially if we don't have our vegetarian options at McDonald's. That was awesome. Okay, I'm gonna set up connections and stuff. Okay, plan for today is I'm gonna get back into the swing of it. And it's Monday, so that means we're doing Morpho studies, which I normally love and I'm super excited about, but I have not drawn in 2 weeks. And I feel rusty. So we're gonna do this together. And I just want you to remember all the good drawings I've done on stream in the past. And if it doesn't look as good this time, you know, we're just dusting off the cobwebs. It's okay. I don't know. I think it's logical that since people have vibes, they also resonate with certain types of nature. Yeah, I totally agree. I think so too. It's the same way people vibe with, like, I don't know. I know what you're saying. Different people. I do feel like different geographical locations all feel different. I've noticed that Florida attracts a certain kind of person to live here, or at least in my current city, county, and I'm not part of that. I know my soul rests in Finnish nature. That's really good. I'm glad you found that, because I think now that I know where I want to be, I'm desperate to get there, and I cannot wait for it. So I'm glad you're settled. I felt off living abroad. Yeah. Now, Rick, I forget, because I know you've been kind of all over the place. I know for a bit you lived in the UK, right? Were you born in Finland and then lived abroad and went back? I forget what your, like, story is with that. And then for some reason, oh, there are other countries sticking out in my brain, but it could be wrong and I don't want to sound like a douche. But I know you've been, like, all over the place, which is crazy. Okay, born in Finland. So you're Finnish through and through, but you've just bopped around a lot. Okay, yeah, China. China was the country I was gonna say, but then I was like, if I'm wrong about that and he's never been to Asia, I'm gonna sound like an ass. Okay, 2 years in China, 1 year in Hungary, 1 year in Scotland. That was it. Okay, and 3 years in the Netherlands. Oh my gosh, you've gotten a wide range. Was that all for schooling? Or, like, I don't know, were those, like, study abroad programs or, like, jobs? Or I know you've talked about having, like, a burnout period and health stuff too, so, like, I don't know how that's played into it. There was a time I almost moved to Switzerland during a tumultuous time in my life. And long story short, I'm very glad I decided not to go, because I don't think I would have, like, how do I say this? Because, like, hey, Alex, do you remember when I was going to move to Switzerland for music and I was so confused about it? And in the end, that would have been very difficult, like, on our relationship. And then, like, I just don't know how that would have gone, especially, like, probably doing long distance and now me not doing music, and really glad I moved away from that. I don't know. It's funny to think about how life would have changed. Because music led me to a big, like, burnout and identity crisis thing, so it was crazy. Okay, I was a kid during China and Hungary. Oh my gosh. So we moved because my dad's work had factories there. Oh, okay. So okay. I know this isn't military, this is different, but, like, that means, like, your childhood sounds reminiscent to me as, like, when I had military family friends growing up, where, like, I'd be friends with somebody and she'd live in our area for, like, 2 years, because then her I'm thinking of one girl particularly, her dad was in the military, and it was like every 2 or 3 years she moved to a new part of the country, and it was crazy. She knew a lot of people then, but I could also tell it was like hard for her because she was younger and couldn't like solidify a friend group, you know? But Scotland was a year... Whoa, wait, but Scotland was a year of game design and production management. Whoa, and Netherlands was a year of marketing and then Uber Eats delivery during the Rona. Oh, wow. Dude, I bet you have so many stories. Oh my god. Uber Eats during the Rona. That's nuts. I mean, my husband has some crazy stories about teaching during coronavirus and like... I actually don't know entirely what the European culture was like with the Rona, because I know you guys are having like a bit of a nationalism rise the same way that like the US is, but man, the stories Alex has teaching during COVID virus in school. I mean, I know it's still around, but like, you know what I'm saying? During like when it all hit the fan, those years. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. I'm glad we're all doing better now. I'm glad life is better for all. And we're all on the mend. And if anyone's out there not there yet, the light's at the end of the tunnel. You can do it. Okay, let's get up connections. Before we jump into my rusty drawings, it's time to embarrass myself. Let's do this. Okay, where am I going? Satique streaming. Yay! Okay. Alright. 4 groups of 4. Can she do it? Okay, I would just like to say I've kept this up every day while on vacation, and it's because I was like, I'm gonna practice, right? I'm gonna be good at this game so I don't embarrass myself on stream anymore. And every day, my husband and I, we stayed with his family in like this big log cabin, so there's like 8 of us there at this cabin. Most of us did these every day, and I was normally the first to finish. Like, I should be good at this, and I don't understand why I'm not. It's so bad. At least on stream. But normally, I promise, I'm good. The Netherlands declared a curfew and had a literal... Oh, okay, Orwellian cyber police truck that sniffed mobile data usage to find out people breaking curfew. Oh, wow. I really need to pay attention to international news more. I mean, I know that's like every typical American, right? But like, holy shit. That's crazy. Wow. Seems like the whole world's kind of in a funk right now, aren't they? I just need to pay more attention. We're living in interesting times. Okay, lovers, magician. This is really embarrassing how I know this. Fool, tower. These are tarot cards. You can't tell me otherwise. I'm gonna nail it. We got the purple first. She did it. Tarot, yeah. Yeah, it's depressing everywhere. That's why we retreat to Twitch. Yeah, Twitch is our happy place. Okay, we got... Yeah, they would have thought lovers would pair with couple. They're trying to trick you. Pest, pain, bother, handful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be it, right? And then I see tie, link, join, couple as a verb. Got it. Few, many, same, couple. Oh, no, here we go. Few, same, several, many. All right, we did good. Look at that. See? I'm not dumb after all. Look at that. All right, but now the hard one. If I keep sucking at this so bad, I might just drop this one from the list. I really like connections. Even when I struggle with connections, it just like, it works with my brain really well. This one, I'm still deciding if I like it or not. That went so well. Some are so hard. Yeah, for real. We didn't want a banana stream and we failed totally. I remember I was there when I told Banana about connections. Because I was like, oh, have you played this one? And she was like, no, I've never heard of it. And it was like hard, but not like the hardest I had seen. And I felt bad because there's no dark mode, which I never play these with dark mode on. Because I don't think there even is one, like Wordle. And she was like blinded the whole time. I felt really bad. But I'm glad she's still doing them. I started watching her like right before I left for my trip, so I haven't gotten to like pop in again. Okay, signed, sealed, delivered. This is like delivery? Duh, 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 duh. Wait. Hold on, she's cooking? Yeah, we need to sponsor sunglasses for her. Alright, let's just get the BS words out of the way. Oh, wait! Bill's a real one. Sometimes when I just see words, I go for the hints. Okay, okay. No, pack. Alright. Package. Hold on. She's got it. I feel like stamp could be one, right? These are all like mail words. Amazon words. Mail. Oh, this has gotta be something, right? Like even if it's mail. Post? Oh wait, hold on, we see a post somewhere. Oh no. Okay, wait. You can't. Is it here? Maybe it's like post office or postcard. We're doing so good. What would have a Z in it? Magazine? I don't know how that's related to mail. That's like old school mail. Letter. That's a good one. That's gotta be here, right? Wait. Uh-oh. Hold on. There we go. Is it snail mail? That's cute. That's the spanogram? Got it. Up top right. Oh, yeah. Invite. God, yesterday I was stuck on the spanogram. Okay, so I just learned what that was. Because like I said, I played these games at the cabin with some of my family members. So spanogram is like the main... Yeah, you did it. And it's kind of like the main goal of the word. Or the word search. But also, it's kind of like the overall theme, right? If this is the clue, this is the theme, and it's snail mail. It's normally the largest word, but it's always, it spans across the whole puzzle. So this one goes from right side to left side. It'll do that, or it'll span entirely up or down. There's also a game that makes you feel stupid. Which game is it? Because, apparently I just love to throw myself into those. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a spelling one. Oh, no, I know the one you're talking about. The spelling bee? This one? I hate this one. We're not playing it. I hate this. This is stupid. If you like this game, I'm really sorry. I'm not a fan. We're doing Wordle. Okay, let me get my keyboard out. I gotta stop setting up for drawing before I play the games. Okay. It also wants you to pay at some point. Ugh, no. No. We're not doing that. Okay, I like to pick a different word every day. What's a new 5-letter word? Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. I also like to play this on a hard mode, so buckle up. Get ready. Ready's a word we could use. Okay. Could have been better. Pay to feel stupid. What is this, Tinder? Do you pay for Tinder? Is that a thing? Okay, what do we got? XX, definitely A. Whoops, A. Gosh darn it. It could be blank E. What could fit that? Flame? Let's try that. Okay. I think most do, yeah. Ugh. That sounds awful. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's the way, like... Okay, when I was a kid, like kid, do you remember, like, Harmony.com? I feel like most people that watch me are around my age, give or take. But do you guys remember Harmony.com? Where, like, it was the beginning of online dating and it had such a stigma. And now online dating has evolved to apps like Tinder. And that's like the way most people meet now. Like if you don't meet in like high school or college or your coworkers or something, then you're probably doing it on Tinder. Okay, what? Ooh. Uh-oh. Hello. Hades 2 came out? No way. You're really aging yourself. I'm saying I was a kid though. I was like little baby Bean. I just remember those commercials. I know most people wouldn't know that. But hold up, gang. Gang. Get over here. Okay, hold on. Hades 2 just came out? We'll come back to the Wordle. Did they drop it now? There's no way. Did my husband lie to me? Alex, are you lying to me? That'd be very cruel if you did. Oh no. Alright, someone verify to me if Hades 2 came out. Because I might try to play that, not today, but tomorrow or something. That's so exciting. Early access on Steam. Oh, okay, it's early access. Alex, you scared me. I thought they did like... Oh my god, I was over here thinking they did like a surprise drop and I was gonna like flip my lid. Could you imagine that? Everyone's waiting for Hollow Knight Silksong, right? To do that? Of just like, no news, and they're just gonna drop the mic and be like, it's out today, suckers. Couldn't imagine. Okay, what have we got here? We got blank blank, could be this. Grave. But we've already used the R. This is gonna be tough. Could it have... What would be in front of the A? What makes the most sense? We could have like this situation. Snake? Oh my god, maybe it's snake. Has she done it? That was close. Biome? Oh no, yeah. Okay. Hey, any suggestions? Listen. I'm never gonna make fun of anyone putting suggestions in the chat. Okay, if it starts with an S... Shape? Oh, you might be right. Shape's a good one. Shaped. Shake. Shag. Shave. Shave. We got it. We got it. A group effort, if I've ever seen one. Oops, there we go. Excellent. Alright, that wasn't so bad. I feel much less stupid than I normally do with those. Much less stupid. Okay, but now we're getting to drawing. So let me set up my iPad. Okay, again, I haven't drawn in like 2 weeks. I'm very rusty, so do not judge me. Again, this is Morpho Monday. So if you're curious, you can join the Discord, and I post these references every Monday, so we could do them together if you want, or you could just see what I'm looking at as I draw and I study and figure out how to draw people better. You can also use !studies in the chat if you want the title of the book. I call them Morpho Monday because they're from the Morpho series, and they're freaking awesome. I have other people that have come into the chat and have since bought the books and have told me, oh my god, Alyssa, they're amazing. Work today was hell, so I didn't have any patience to try the drawings. Oh my gosh, yeah. And that's another thing too. If you don't want to ever have anything to do with it, don't worry about it. This is just like for fun if people want to do it. I know I often try to find like Twitch channels. When they do art, I try to make I try to find helpful ones that will sometimes answer my questions or like, you know, tell me where they're getting their resources. So I just kind of want to pass it forward if you're into it. And if you're not, I'm just glad you're hanging. Hi, Jim. How are you? It's Tuesday for you now, right? Happy Tuesday. Okay, this is what we did last time. 2 weeks ago. And we're gonna jump into some more. Okay. Here we go. Does she remember how to do this? Let's see. Gotta get the feel of it all. Is this the right curve? Yeah, that's fine. Alright. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good. I just got back from vacation. That's why I haven't drawn in 2 weeks. I've been away for a week and a half, but the last time I actually drew on stream was 2 weeks ago. So, what is my hair doing? I slept after showering last night, and now it's like, it's got a mind of its own. But yeah, back from vacation, so that was like a blast. We went to the mountains for a bit, up north. I'm actually, wearing a sweater I got when I was there. But yeah, a lot of fun. Got to do some hiking, I saw some waterfalls, ate some really good food. My husband and I also got some very good news while we were up there that I would love to share with you all, but I think I'm gonna wait just a tad to make sure everything is good and finalized. But yeah, lots of good stuff was happening. It was a blast. Okay, also, where are all the figures that make me feel represented? Where the muscles are kind of undeveloped and there's a bit of a gut. I will actually get to those. There's a book that I want to get to next. So this one's actually almost done. We've drawn this many pages. It's hard to see. Is this better? We've drawn this many. This many are left. It's not a lot. Hi Miley, what's up? How you cute papayas doing? I love that greeting. They're adopting me, that's the good news. But yeah, the books I want to get to next, there's a couple. Oh, sorry. I have like 7 of them, and the 2 I want to get to next are either like anatomy with clothing, or it's anatomy with bodies that like, it's like the anatomy of where fat tends to sit on a body and how to like correctly proportion different body types and where it would go depending on if you're like, you know, male or female or, you know, stuff like that. Or I know like for women AFAB people, it's like there's like 3 really common body types of where fat will sit. And anyways, the book kind of goes over all of that stuff and I'm fascinated by it, so I might do that. Congrats. Yeah, thank you, Jim. If it works out the way it should, I'll be able to say stuff in June, which will be awesome. It'll be awesome. Miley, I'm confused. Who's adopting you? I'm gonna be honest, I was trying to figure out what you meant by that while I was speaking, and I might just be dumb. I'm sorry. Are you talking about the books? My fat tends to collect in the mirror. You know, the mirror sometimes isn't harsh to... Or isn't harsh. The mirror sometimes isn't kind to a lot of us. I think a lot of people who know how to like take good pictures just understand angles. But even like the skinniest of people have unflattering angles. You know what I mean? And I think even bigger people have like a lot of beauty to them too. It's just, I don't know. It's a whole thing. You get into like societal standards and what people expect from you. I do know pretty privilege is a thing, don't get me wrong. It's just a shame that it is, you know? He literally just said, y'all got good news. Oh, that you didn't want to talk about yet. That was it. That's right. Miley, you want to move to Florida? You want us to adopt you and move here? Oh, Mikarin raided! Hello, Raiders! And hello, Mikarin, that's right. Guys, Mikarin's a friend of the stream in the Discord, if you're not familiar. They're awesome. But yeah, welcome in. We actually just finished our New York Times games where I did not completely embarrass myself today. And now we're doing some art. And it's interesting because I just came back from vacation, right? So I'm a little rusty. I haven't drawn in like 2 weeks, so here we are. But I do anatomy studies every Monday, which you're welcome to join in. I call them Morpho Mondays because we use these great Morpho books. You can actually do exclamation point studies in the chat and you'll find them there, but yeah, it's good stuff. We're learning today. Hello there. Yeah, Mika, how was your stream? I hope it went well. I'm glad you're streaming again. I don't actually know what kind of stuff you're streaming. I did a super scuffed stream just now. What do you mean by scuffed? I think I know what that means, but I might not be totally clear. Oh, I go months without looking at my side profile, and when I do, it's like that scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I definitely have a side of my face that I like better. I actually hate that the camera's on this side of me, because this side of my face I like less. I wish the camera was over here. And the sad thing is y'all don't see it. You'll never know. That's not true, not never. One day change will come and then you will know. Now that I think about it, I'll stay put. Miley, that's the smart thing to do. I'll stick with the ground shaking below me over the ocean vortex around me. Yeah. Honestly though, I'd pick the same. I would join you. Do you want to adopt me? Do you want to? No, it's okay. We're taking the steps to change our environment, so it is a matter of time. And then we'll be able to adopt. Okay. Let's just block in the legs. I gotta remember how to do this. I like blocking in the knee kind of as its own diamond shape. You still look like a Greek goddess, thank you. It's very flattering. I was nervous about that streaming at first. Well, just cause like also looking at yourself and also hearing my own voice, like I save all the VODs and I keep them all together, and every once in a while I watch them just to see, like, you know, am I natural on camera? Are things going okay? Is the audio okay? And I hear my own voice and I'm like, oh, makes me cringe. For now, I'm playing some story games. Oh, in League! Hell yeah. Who do you main? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know. I remember we talked about you playing League. I don't know very many people, but I know that's a question you ask. Planning to do art soon. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome, Mika, and I can't wait to see. Good thing about me streaming is my schedule ends. Oh, right when you start, so I can just raid you. Oh, that's cool. Maybe one day I'll do an early stream and I'll try to raid you. I'll do it on like one of my off days. My Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are pretty set in stone, which I like. But I do like to try to do extra stuff when I can. Though I do live in SoCal along the coast, so we get our occasional share of angry waves too. Yeah, didn't you guys get like... I think you got a tropical storm last year, but it was like a baby, right? Tropical storms aren't really that big of a deal. I mean, like, if you don't have the infrastructure for it and it's dry, then they can be scary. So, like, I was still really worried for you guys, because the land's not used to, like, sucking up that much rain, you know? And if the storm stalls out over you, then you're screwed. That can be scary, because then the floods kind of hit you out of nowhere. But yeah, then I saw people posting about it on Instagram and y'all seemed fine, so I was really happy for that. I have some of my stand-up on video and I can't watch them. It makes my teeth hurt. Oh my god, yeah, I totally understand that. It's painful. It's painful. I'm really glad I'm not just like, okay, I know I've mentioned before here, on here, I'm trying to do YouTube soon, and that's gonna be way more in the picture once I'm off my film, because that will allot me a bunch more time. But I'm really glad I started here on Twitch, because I'm now much more used to being in front of a camera, and just working with this kind of equipment more than I was. There's something I don't like about this. It needs to feel more like tilted, you know? Yeah, that's kind of better. Hi, Tyson! Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. Gotta get you to the 50 followers. Yeah! And then you gotta help me animate. You're super close to 100? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we gotta get you there. For sure. Are you doing anything big for 100, Miko? Or are you just kind of like hoping to get to the number? Either way, I feel. Okay, what do we want to do with the head? We got kind of like this thing. A little bit of jawline. I'm just going to indicate the nose. Okay, what else does it want us to get from the reference? The leg. The leg is important. I have no idea yet. Maybe I should do something? I mean, only if you want to. Only if you want to. I feel like... I don't know, sometimes goals like that are really good. But also, you gotta be into it, you know? I think if you just do things for an audience, that's not always, like, the best thing. It's why, like, I know I'm very kind of, like, creatively drained a lot of the time after the end of the day from working on a film. And especially, like, leading into vacation, those 2 weeks before, I was putting a lot more hours in because I wanted to finish my assignments before leaving, right? So that way I could, like, take that week off and not feel bad leaving my team hanging, right? So so I worked a bit extra, and that was when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to plan out also these like character designs for stream, and I have like that like steampunk elven gunslinger thing I was telling you guys about, and that's all still in the works. But then like I finished the day and I'm so freaking tired. I got nothing left in the tank. And it's not good. So rather than like force myself doing something half-assed and frankly probably bad and mediocre because I'm tired, I would rather wait. Oh, the other week I was doing some deep cleaning and I came across an old sketch pad from when I attempted hand studies. It triggered PTSD. Miley, can I see? It's totally cool if you don't want to show it, because I understand. But also, if you want to post it in the Discord, I would love to see it. I'm gonna actually draw his foot. Okay, wait, hold on. Alyssa's experimenting. Should I be doing this? Probably not. I kind of want to see how I would draw this if the foot's like kind of facing a bit more this way, you know? Okay, so the ball of the foot here. I guess that looks a little funky with the knee, doesn't it? Yeah, because I'd be like, you can't see it, but I'm twisting my foot under my desk to be like, yeah, would it bend that way? It wouldn't. That would be probably uncomfortable. Prob's uncomfortable, so we'll copy the reference. That's what it's there for. Whatever. We got this, the hook of the foot. Boom. That foot's already too big. We're gonna have to shrink it down. And you can see a lot of little toesies here. And it's got the big toe sticking out. Interesting. We're gonna fix that. But this is about what they have showing. I do want to move this. Oops. Freaking love the transform tool, dude. This is the best thing ever. Okay, and as we always do, we knock this back. I'm gonna do some layers over it. Oops, okay. All right, that wasn't so bad. I guess I'm not done with it yet. I shouldn't, you know, jinx myself. Question time. Question of the day. Oh, Rick, by the way, I started, let me pull that up. Hold up one sec. Okay, gang, we're doing question of the day where I pull up a list of questions and I answer it, but also I would love to hear your responses in the chat. Okay, which one are we on? Ooh, okay. What is the most underappreciated movie you have seen? That's a very interesting question. I have to think about it. Underappreciated. Underappreciated, that's tough. So like obscure, either something that you love that everyone else doesn't and you're like, how come they don't like it? Or like a cult classic, right? Maybe I come across it again. I ended up leaving it. Oh, in the storage unit? Yeah. I understand. Yeah, what movie? 400 Days. I don't know 400 Days. Hey, also, any of these movie suggestions, feel free to drop them in the Discord. We were actually, I think it was Jack brought up movie stuff while I was gone on vacation, and that was fascinating. I'm so glad people here like Apollo 13. I love that movie. I'm pretty sure that gets recognition though, right? I mean, it's got Tom Hanks in it. I feel like that's probably got some notoriety to it, right? Probably. Okay, first one that popped into my head was Donnie Darko. I have definitely never heard of that. Like 400 Days kind of rings a bell in my head. Donnie Darko, I have no clue what you're talking about, but I am extremely curious, Smiley. Okay, I'll need some time to think about that one. Yeah, Jim, I'm the same. I kind of have an answer right now, but I don't think it's my definitive answer. It's the most recent movie I've seen that I think fits this category. But yeah, let me read other people's responses and I'll say mine. Okay, 2015, this is 400 Days. A 2015 sci-fi thriller that was pretty low budget. The concept is that they're testing deep space effect on psychology. Whoa, and then weird things start to happen. Unclear whether it's real or not. Whoa, I'll put it in Discord. Yeah, that's fascinating. So is it like, when you say thriller, it's a little spooky then, right? Would you say it's more sci-fi or more spooks? Hi, Noob Master. Welcome in. We're discussing our favorite underappreciated movies. How y'all doing today? Yeah, I'm doing really good. I just came back from vacation, so I feel like refreshed and ready to go. Had a very good time. I hope everyone else is doing good too. It feels good to get back at this on a Monday. And on Mondays I normally do these anatomy studies. It's like a little tradition I'm trying to get going on the stream, and I'm a little rusty. So don't mind me. Yeah, spooky. Okay, more spooky but not scary, just atmospherically intense. That is right up my alley though. I would love to watch that. I hope it's on like streaming services. It probably is, right? Underappreciated movies, Romeo and Juliet, the 1996 version. I love that one. I remember first watching it in high school and I was like, I'm sold. Very cute. I love Claire Danes. Who doesn't love 90s Leonardo DiCaprio? Okay, that's where the quads are, right? Alright, we're good. Okay, my answer, I think. Oh, wait a minute. We got Miley coming in. 80s psych thriller? Jake Gyllenhaal, Patrick Swayze, Seth Rogen, Drew Barrymore. Wait, what film? Oh, that's Donnie Darko. That sounds huge. How have I not heard of that? That's full of A-listers. And a psych thriller? I love those. Love Leonardo's movies. I do too. He's got like good taste with his scripts. You know what I mean? I feel like he only accepts like intriguing roles, you know? And a lot of obviously his more recent stuff, there's like gray areas, but like in ways that are fascinating to explore and film, you know? I love it. It's on Amazon Prime. That's good. We got that. And Roku, whatever that is. Yeah, I know what Roku is. We don't really use it, but I have Prime. I love Donnie Darko. It's in my top 10. It's great. Well, damn, I have to watch this. I got 2 people in chat saying how great Donnie Darko is. I have never even heard of it. But you're saying, so it was made in the 80s? Interesting. So maybe I just missed the boat, huh? That's a little sad. But if it's on Prime, I'll look it up. I love finding I was gonna say obscure movies. With an A-list team like that, it's not obscure. But obscure to me, like it's not like I saw trailers of it recently or anything, you know what I mean? Alright, I made the nose too big. Yeah, it's just an odd shape, isn't it? Noses can really make or break a face. Yeah, it's fine. It's good enough from afar. I'm high. It's 2001, set in the 80s. You know, that makes more sense with Jake Gyllenhaal and Seth Rogen. I don't think they could be in the 80s. But I didn't catch that either. Alyssa, I think when you see the bunny from Donnie Darko, you'll go, oh, I've seen that thing before? Okay. I'm really curious now. Also, the movie Hell House LLC, it's found footage horror, and it's so good and fucked up. Also, the other 4 they made. Oh, but no one cares about them for some reason? Ooh, okay. I would like to get into watching horror movies. Alex, my husband, is not a horror fan, so he'll be like, all right, Alyssa, good luck watching those on your own. But like, I'm okay with that. I think I'm ready to get into it and find the juicy horror films, you know? I'm ready. If anyone's got any recs, send them. I cannot promise how quickly I'll get to them, because I'm notoriously bad at keeping up with media. Like, really bad. Really, really, really bad. I still haven't finished Fallout, and I started that like 3 weeks ago, whenever it came out. It's bad. Okay, not the movie, but you'll have seen an image of the bunny somewhere. Okay. Let me look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna tell you if I've seen it, because now you got me really curious. It was Donnie Darko Bunny? Okay, hold on. I have not seen this bunny anywhere. I have never seen this in my life. In fact, if you showed me an image of this, if you just dropped it on Discord and you showed me an image of this, I would think it's like someone trying to spoof the FNAF bunny. What's the bunny's name? Shit. You know what I'm talking about, though? I would think it's somebody like doing weird fan art of the bunny. That's what I would think. RIP. I put the trailer and movie post in movies? Hell yeah. Because I definitely want to look into it. Horror is my favorite genre, but you should start with like 80s slashers like Hellraiser and Friday the 13th. Okay. Yeah, any of these suggestions, guys, put them in the Discord. Because I do refer back to that sometimes. Like the books Discord, too. I was just updating my my book shopping list the other day, and I was definitely like going back to that and then adding it to my like online list I keep on my website. It's bookshop.org, but like, you know what I mean. Okay, where's Liquify? I want to push the knee. Yeah, and then his quad's just a little squat. Yeah, that's fine. Wow, I can think of a few overrated movies, but not underappreciated ones. Yeah, Jim, I think I'm the same. I definitely like, particularly with modern movies, and because I don't watch a lot of films. I mean, you know, that's kind of the joke, is like I work in film, but like there's a lot of films I haven't seen, so it's a bit of a joke. That's a better line. Yeah, Bullet Train 2. Bullet Train is cool. I feel like I've heard of that one, but I don't know much about it. We'll add it to the list, baby. I'll join the Discord. Oh, okay. If you do !Discord in the chat, you should get a link. There's also a little Discord panel and the About Me on Twitch that you should be able to click on. It should be !Discord without the space. Sorry, I should clarify. Oh, never mind. Nightbot. There you go. You got it. Army of Darkness. I love Evil Dead. Oh, Miley said, okay, wait. Sorry. I'm missing so much. Army of Darkness. That sounds up my alley. That sounds like something I would enjoy. They're making another one. That's probably because I mostly watch critically acclaimed movies. Yeah, I feel like whenever I go down to watch a show or a movie, it's either like such a blockbuster, like a Marvel thing or Star Wars, or yeah, it's like it won a bunch of Oscars and it's gotten a lot of praise from critics, so like I should sit down and watch this like work of art kind of deal. I'm also a sucker for romantic comedies. Whoa, okay, when I was younger... When you were younger, you liked them. Okay. So I love a lot of them that most people think are trash. Yeah, but that's like a different category. Because like... Okay, hear me out. I feel like that's the same way people like Twilight. Where like they know it's trash. But it's like a comfort thing. You know what I mean? I personally still am not like a huge Twilight fan. I love vampires, but there's just like... There's a bit too much for me to... There's other vampire stuff I'm more into, especially as like a thriller horror fan. I mean, even like, you guys have seen me, I love Astarian's story in Baldur's Gate. I just like something with a bit more depth, I think. But having said that, I don't want to knock anybody that likes Twilight, because honestly, I kind of get it. Like the guilty pleasure thing, I remember growing up, I used to love like watching Legally Blonde. You know what I mean? Is it a work of art? No. But is it something I'd sit down with on a rainy Saturday and have it on in the background while I wear like cozy sweaters and shit? Like, yeah. Hell yeah, I would. They're fun. You should watch Bram Stoker's Dracula. Are you talking about the, it's like 1931, like the OG Dracula? Because I did watch that actually this last Halloween. I did a classic Halloween movie marathon. Okay, actually, that was a really fun trip. I went to New England. Oh, no, not that one. Okay, which one, Noob Master? I watched the OG one just for like the history of it, and it was fun. It's funny to think that it was scary back then, because obviously it was not scary anymore. But also it was fun to watch a piece of history like that. I'll say that. Still enjoyed it because it was just funny. Okay, we're gonna kind of pretend these toes are there. Gonna squish these two in. I've already been streaming for a while and I've only drawn one body. Oh no. Oh, it's the one from 1992. Then no, I have not seen that one. But I love vampires, so put it in. Drop all your suggestions. The one with the butt hairdo? You mean like... Wait, do you mean like the duck butt hairdo? I don't know if I've seen that one. I don't know if I even remember what that would look like. Okay, wait. Early 90s dark fantasy comedy horror, Bruce Campbell. This is my boomstick? Modern times guy gets ported to medieval times. So it's like an isekai situation? Needs to retrieve a book of dead and defeat an army of corpses to get back home? That sounds amazing. And it's called This Is My Boomstick? I'm definitely watching that. That's something my husband might watch with me. I love Evil Dead, and in my opinion, Evil Dead Rise sucked. But that may just be me. Okay. I'm all for it. Something my husband and I were gonna hate watch together, but now I have too many movie suggestions, so I might opt for one of yours instead. We were listening to a podcast that was talking about, it's Ma Bim Bam. If anyone listens to Ma Bim Bam or the McElroys. So on the drive home, because it's like a 12-hour drive to come back to our house from the mountains, we were listening to a lot of Ma Bim Bam, and one of the episodes was talking about how one of the brothers had watched Madam Web when it came out, and we kind of looked at each other and we were like, we should hate watch that movie together. Just like, we know it's not gonna be great, it's not gonna be a work of art, but you know what, I'm curious, let's just see what it's like. Not Army of Darkness. Oh, that's the... Okay. That's the one with the big lines from the movie. Oh, this is my broomstick, aka the shotgun that he brought with him. Okay, so Army of Darkness is one I need to watch with him. That's good to know. I ended up with a concept based on the vampire science idea. Oh yeah, did you... I posted that link, right? I think I did. I found the video again. I hope it was helpful. I've heard a lot of great things about Madam Web. Listen, the way they were describing it was by the time you get to the end of the movie was just starting. And everything else in between sounds like something to hate watch, and I'm ready for it. Okay, but anyways, where modern technology has fixed all the bugs, like the inability to view sunlight, and my plot would revolve around a vampire trying to reinstate the old ways of being limited to the night, hunted and hated because they believed the vampires were stronger back then because of the hardship. You know, there's some real modern day parallels culturally you can draw to that, and I think there's a lot to explore that'd be fun. But the Army of Darkness is part 3. The movie, isn't called This Is My Broomstick. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Army of Darkness. Broomstick is shotgun. Got it. Madam Web is shit. Oh no. I don't anticipate it to be anything but. In fact, if it were good, I'd be upset. I fully intend to go into it like it's like a Sharknado situation. You know what I'm talking about? You don't expect it to be good. It's there to be garbage. And apparently, they said something in the podcast that got me kind of like, oh, is that why? Apparently Sony keeps making... Oh, it's boomstick, not broomstick. My bad. Oh, and that's why it's a gun. Because it goes boom. Oh, that makes sense now. Alright, anyways. Sorry, gang. I'm back from vacation. I'm still tired. The Madam Web thing I was going to say. Apparently Sony keeps making these dumb movies without Spider-Man in it, but revolving around the Spider-Man universe is because that's how they're keeping... I don't know how true this is, but that's how they're keeping the Spider-Man copyright or something. So, like, he has to be in the movie in a certain contractual way for them to hold on to the copyright, and if they don't, then they lose it. So that's why they keep making these trash films, which I thought was hilarious. Alyssa has witch on the brain. Apparently. I've heard that too. Yeah, for real. It's so weird. There must be some validity in that, right? There's no way the executives are that stupid. I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. My friend was in Sharknado? Actually? No way. Who were they? Okay, hold on. We got... What's my favorite movie genre? I think Noob Master got smited in the Discord. Oh, no! Hey, Noob Master, if you got smited in the Discord, I'm sorry. I'll go in and fix it. You're not in trouble. Discord's very new to me, and we're working on it. Other people have been smited too. I'm sorry. We should have like a smited badge. Like if you get smited, you it's actually like a work of honor. You know, and it's like, congrats, you've done it. Unless you were actually being a jerk You know what I mean? Like if someone goes in there to actually be an ass, they don't get smited, but like the true people do it. Alyssa's Discord is like the yard of a paranoid old man. I've actually turned off most of the protections. I turned the Discord protections to low. Sapphire is only there to like make sure no one drops like the N-word or something really violent in there. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I even thought I turned off the link embedding. Clearly, I'll go revisit that. I'm sorry if anyone gets smited. I was asked my favorite movie genre. That's super tough because I don't, as I said, I don't watch movies super often. I would say generally what I enjoy the most is probably drama. I think I like dramas the most. Well, okay, no, that's not true. That's tough. That's tough. I think their introduction message was too short. It wasn't New Master. Hold on, gang. Hold on, I'm going in. Let me see what's going on. I don't want my Discord to smite people. Okay, I see the welcomes. Introductions. One mentioned was hidden. Okay, it says likely a spammer? Oh. Hey, I'm sorry if you're out there. Is it Daesh? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and... Why did that happen? Alright, guys, hold on. I'm going to Sapphire. Hey, Daesh. I'm really sorry about that. You didn't get smited. But, I'm gonna pull up the Sapphire website so that that doesn't happen to you again. Big sorry. Daesh was just trying to say hi, everyone. It's literally hi with 3 eyes. Boo. And hello, I'm Jaden, new master. I like movies and heavy metal music. Hell yeah. Alright, I will get that fixed after stream. Sorry, gang. It's a work in progress. No one's in trouble. I'm trying my best. I promise. What someone was, I think their introduction was too short. Yeah, sounds dope. Okay, it wasn't a major role. She was a surfer that got knocked off her board and eaten by sharks. That's still amazing, though. It's just like, I don't know. You know what that is? That's a really great fun fact to enter, like a party with or something, or like, this leg is way too long. You know, whenever you do a class and they're like, okay guys, it's icebreaker time. You know, give a fun fact about yourself and like where you're from and your name. You know, you'd be like, all right guys, my name's Alyssa. I'm from Florida and I was a surfer in Sharknado, and everyone would be like, what? You know what I mean? Everyone would freak out. And they'd just be like, no big deal. Okay, I lied. Actually, maybe the shin should have been shorter. Yeah, and I think what it is, I think the knee needs to come out to like here. We're assuming the kneecap's there. I also don't think, hold on, I'm thinking about it. I don't think I've said my underrated movie. Has anyone seen The Fall? I don't know if this is my definitive answer, but I just watched a movie called The Fall while I was away on vacation. My in-laws found it while they were on a trip, and they said they couldn't believe how good it was and how it was a box office flop, like flop. Apparently the film spent like $30 million when it was made and only made back $3 million. So it was like seen as a complete, you know, failure, disgrace, whatever. Which is so sad because it was beautiful. It's I don't even know what you'd call it. Would it be a drama, I guess? Sort of. Roughly speaking, it's about this little girl and this guy. Which movie was this? It's called The Fall. Let me see if I can post a link of it in Discord. Or like the IMDb or something. Oh wow, you can't even. That's hard to find. Yeah, I'll post the IMDb of it on Discord real fast on movies. Okay. Oh, I haven't enabled link embedding on here. All right, guys, I have to do a Discord cleanup after this stream. But okay, I just posted on Discord. It's this film that's about like a little girl and a guy who are in a hospital together for different reasons. The guy is a stuntman. This takes place in like old golden age Hollywood of the 1920s. The girl is like I think she's even like an immigrant who like works. She's really young. She's like 6 or 7 years old, but she works on a grove picking fruit. And the guy is a stuntman who the crazy, you know, in the crazy 1920s stunts of like jumping off of trains and shit, has become paralyzed from a stunt gone wrong. The girl has fallen off of a tree from the grove that she works at. So they've both fallen, they're in the hospital, and the movie is about the two of them kind of maneuvering their lives. The guy in particular is going through a very rough time, but it's like the movie, he's telling her stories. And it's like the shots, the cinematography, it'll switch to, instead of being in the hospital, him telling her a story. And it's like, you know, whenever you read a book and as the text flies by, you update kind of what you see in your head of like, oh, I didn't realize the walls were made of stone. And then suddenly you're like trying to imagine a building differently than you did at first. So the movie does that with its scenes where like the stories are as the girl sees them, and as he tells them to her, she's like updating what's happening in her mind or what she wants things to look like or how she wants people to act and that sort of thing. And I'm gonna warn you, because my in-laws didn't. There's some heavy shit in that film. It hit me like a train. There should be trigger warnings, because it's deep. It's deep and it'll hit you, as it hit me. But it's really good. It made me upset as an artist that it did so poorly in the box office, because I would say like the cinematography, the directing, and the editing. That's some of the most impressive editing I've seen in a long time. And I feel like editing isn't something a lot of people think of with films, but like, no, this was good. This was good. It looks trippy. It is a bit trippy, but in a great way. It's really good. Oh, I had that with a movie recently, Beau Was Afraid. Very upsetting movie all around. Yeah, and I would say this movie isn't like 100% upsetting, but like there was just a point at the end I was not prepared for emotionally, and we were all watching it together, and I was just there in the corner like this. I was like hiding my face. Cause I was about to lose it and start crying. And I don't know, it's just a very vulnerable moment. I don't necessarily want people to see me like that, especially when like it was related to such a particular thing in my life that I don't think other people would have reacted the same way to it. So I was there like, oh my god, keep it together. And they were just like, oh, this is so sad. And I don't want them to be like, what's wrong with her? I mean, they wouldn't. They're super nice, but like, you guys know what I mean. It's vulnerable stuff. But that's also what I love about dramas. I love that dramas explore human emotion like that. I think I was saying that on the Discord with Jack, where like a part of me really loves, you know, tragic stories and exploring human tragedies, because it's just like fascinating to see, I don't know, people explore that in a story or how that evolves, how it relates to us. Okay, Beau Was Afraid. It's from A24. So maybe Hi-Fi Jack has seen it. Yeah, it's true. Emotions are weakness, never show them. It just caught me really off guard. Because up until then, the first half of the movie, you're like, oh, this is cute. And then it gets a little dark, and then it gets really dark out of nowhere. Like, nowhere. And you were just like, okay. Alright, so we're connecting butt muscles now. I don't know how far we're gonna get on these studies today. How long have I been streaming? Oh, it's only been an hour. That's not bad. You finished Gideon the Ninth. What did you think of it? I liked it, but I'm not continuing with the book series. All right, that's fair. Because two gets insane. Like, if you're only mad about Gideon the Ninth, I don't know. I loved Harrow. Harrow is actually my favorite of the series so far. But yeah, I totally get that. I'm glad you like it, though. I'm still finishing up, I'm mostly done with Lyrael from the Old Kingdom series I've been working through. And then I'm trying to wrap up old series I'm in before I start new series. I'm reading, I just started yesterday, Bookshops and Bone Dust. Because I read Legends and Lattes last fall, winter. So I'm trying to like tie up loose ends before jumping into a handful of new series I want to start. Especially like, okay, Lies of Locke Lamora, I'm going to do in August when the new book comes out. I know there's a couple more series that have been suggested in the Discord that I'm very interested in. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's too many books I want to read, damn it. Not enough time. That's a good problem to have, though. I remember when I first started reading a lot of fantasy, I was like, but what if I run out of things I like? And the more I read, I'm like, it's not gonna happen. I did a naughty and read the story synopsis of the following books from Wikipedia. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, though. Okay, it mostly just confirmed my decision not to continue with the books. That's fair. I remember seeing a little bit of that on Tumblr and being like, this sounds jack shit crazy. But then you read it and the way it's delivered is amazing. But I also like, again, I recommend that book knowing it's not for everyone. It's a very like niche audience. But it's really cool that you tried to read it, Rick. I'm like, thank you. That's really nice. I feel like that's just how book recommendations are sometimes too. Like, sometimes they're just not for everyone. And I get that. Same with like anime. Hi, Jack! I hope you're doing well. Yeah, speak of the devil, I was just saying you might have seen Beau is Afraid. Yeah, Jack, we're actually talking about movies. That was the question of the day. So if you go in the Discord and everyone's posted movies, that's why. It's everyone's recommendation. Okay, my only note would be that I wish they had not wasted so much time with the book on the hate part of the relationship, so the ending felt a little rushed. I could see that. I remember I felt that way at first, particularly in the first third of the book, I would say, where I remember thinking, this feels a bit too edgy, but I felt like there were so many other details in place that were there for a reason. I was like, clearly this is there with some kind of purpose, right? And you do actually learn a bit more of that purpose in the second book. Not saying you should continue it, because like if you feel that way now, then like that's a good call. The second book only gets crazier, so like yeah, you have to be like committed to the madness already, I'd say. But yeah, I would say like with the way it's written, the actual prose and such, it does lend itself a bit more to that. Okay, what am I doing here? The butt is tilted. We're drawing a pelvis. How is this gonna go? I did buy, we went to a used bookstore. Yeah, we went to a used bookstore while we were up there. That is, what am I doing with my perspective? Sorry, gang. And I actually bought some books. One of them I bought, I've been wanting to read forever, is the classic Interview with the Vampire. Just because I feel like that's a classic I should have like under my belt, you know? So that's one I'll be reading sooner or later as well. Don't know when. I do need to wrap up series I've already started. That's important. Okay. Oh, haven't seen Beau is Afraid. Okay, interesting. I'm horror averse, although I honestly can't fully understand if Beau is Afraid is horror or not. I accidentally watched Midsommar from Ari, and that was enough for me. Midsommar's on my list. I really want to see it. That's what I keep forgetting about. I hear about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to watch it. Okay, though I'm a sucker for will they, won't they romance, so I would have loved more of that, I guess. Oh man, yeah. There is a lot more of that in books 2 and 3, without too many spoilers. But, yeah, the books don't focus on romance, as I'm sure you can tell. It's like a tertiary thing. Oh my god, my favorite topic, the movies. I wouldn't say it's horror per se, but it's deeply upsetting film all around. I'm forgetting the 9th. Why no kiss? I feel cheated. It's the ultimate edging, Rick. Yep. Everyone feels that. Plus, my god Emperor interest is already sated from Warhammer 40k. Alright, that's fair. Yeah, I'll tell you what, he gets scary though. He's both scary and not scary at all. It's very bizarre. Hey, if anyone is gonna read The Locked Tomb or Gideon the Ninth, if you're going to, cover your ears until I wave my hands. Or if you're in the middle of that series, cover your ears until I wave my hand. But Rick, God Emperor. So these are all people who have who came from our Earth and our time. Well, you hate his name. Do you know his name though? I don't think you actually know his real name. That's what I'm about to tell you. All these people came from our Earth and our current time, and they're in our solar system now, but it's 10,000 years in the future. Oh, you hate. Oh, so you know he's John. All right, then everyone can look again. But see, there's a reason he's named that. He's got a doctoral degree in like environmental sciences from one of the New Zealand schools. And he was saving the world from climate change. I think it's brilliant. I love it. Okay, Midsummer is bananas, especially for someone who doesn't watch horror. But I actually really liked it from a filmmaking perspective. That sounds like it'd be good for me then. I'd give it a go. There's something I don't like about this box. I'm doing really bad with my boxes today. I'm doing really bad with my boxes today. What is going on? That's better. Oh yeah, that's way better. I read the synopsis going, what? I will tell you, as someone who experienced the same thing, I remember I read this much of a synopsis and I was like, this is stupid. But then when you read it in the book, the way it's delivered is very well done. But I do acknowledge it is not for everyone. I do 100% acknowledge that. Alright, let's see if Alyssa can pick up if she learned anything from the previous drawing now. Let's see if any of this transfers at all. Okay, I'm going back to Jim's question earlier because I don't think I answered it properly. I think my favorite genre is drama. I think. But with the big caveat of I like drama because I like exploring human emotions. I just think it's fascinating. They're often like deep dives into what's going on inside a person's mind, and I love that. Having said that, I think I would almost say it would be fantasy or sci-fi because those settings are way more up my alley. I just don't feel like there's enough. Okay, either there's not enough good fantasy or sci-fi, or I just don't know it personally, right? Because then I think of a film like, or the saga Lord of the Rings. That to me is like some peak filmmaking. I love Lord of the Rings, but I also feel like not a lot of that exists. A lot of times with fantasy, and it's the same with TV shows, there's like Game of Thrones, and even then it's like the early Game of Thrones seasons. Maybe you can make an argument for like House of the Dragons or a couple other shows. I know my husband would make an argument for probably like Merlin or something. But outside of that, you don't get a lot of like high quality fantasy stuff. Or it's just like rarer or harder to come by. I don't know. That could be an ignorant opinion. I'm completely owning up to that as well. But yeah, there's just like a lot of stuff that's not, I feel like, great. So a part of me thinks that it would almost be that, right? If you could incorporate the analysis or the explication of like human psyche and drama with like the fantasy setting of Lord of the Rings and like combine that shit would be my jam. It would be amazing. But I just don't think it exists. And if it exists, it's a one-off, right? It's certainly not like a genre or like a wide sweeping thing that we get all the time, which is a bummer. Okay, I gotta show... Oh, hold on, wait, I'm missing some stuff. I watched The Ninth Gate again just a few days ago and it holds up. I don't know Ninth Gate. See, is that one I'm missing? Post it in the Discord. Because I want to know more like this. I feel like fantasy and sci-fi are still in their toddler phase. Yeah, it's like books of fantasy and sci-fi have gotten it together and then they're just doing bad reboots. It's like there's no original good media for film and TV in those genres. Except for the outliers like, you know, Alien for sci-fi, Lord of the Rings, which is a reboot, you know, from the books, but done really well. Yeah, it's an odd situation. It's funny. Okay, I got to show Lord of the Rings to my partner for the first time. 4K, big screen, big sound. Hell yeah. Extended editions. That was my first watch too. It's good stuff. For some reason, watching it with someone who had never seen it before was moving, special. Like, I got a whole new appreciation for them. Me and my best friends did that, like, during COVID. It was like the lockdown started lightening up, and it was me, my husband Alex, and two of our really good friends. We played D&D together at the time. And, we were like, oh, if lockdowns are easing up, like, let's just have it be the four of us and we'll watch all of the 3 films, the extended editions together. And I think they said the same thing, where, like, they would often, like, turn to look at my face to watch my expression and how I would react. And then they'd, like, giggle or, like, be like, oh my god, isn't this great? And I think they had a similar experience. Even though I've watched them every 1 or 2 years since they came out. Yeah, same. I can see that. I definitely feel like... Wait, okay, I can see that. I definitely feel that showing it to future kids. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Movie companies aren't willing to put in more work into the big sweeping fantasies anymore, I feel. Yeah, it's just... I don't really know what's going on with that genre specifically. I can tell you the problem with Hollywood right now with reboots is because they're averse to taking risk. To be a producer used to mean that you were a risk taker. You were there to buy into an idea and you were like, all right, guys, we're fucking going for it. And that's what you did. That was your job. And that's what a producer did, was make sure productions ran cleanly, that the creatives got what they wanted to produce something well. You know, to make the creative vision the way that they wanted, and so that way everyone can enjoy it. But now, producers don't take risks at all. It's why everything you see requires buying rights for a book, a previous show, a previous comic, whatever. And granted, I'll give this to the producers. The reason why is because film is moving to the tech industry slowly, which is scary, to more non-creatives. It's becoming more and more and more about money, which granted it always has been, but so much so that the second a producer makes something and it flops, they probably get fired. And it's not uncommon. We call them reorgs, but a reorganization of like the entire upper echelon of a studio will be flushed, and you will experience reorg, I would say like once a year at this point, once every 2 years in a studio, which is crazy if you've worked with a group of people at all, to imagine your entire upper management getting flushed and then having a new group of people and doing that on like a yearly 2-year basis just because like one person fucked up. I don't know. It won't just because one person fucked up, but like from a producer standpoint, if they don't do well, they'll just get fired for like one bad film. So I do feel for them for that, but also I don't know, it's their job to do that too. Like it's or like executives need to take more risks with that sort of thing. It's hard. I don't know. It makes me sad. Okay, wait, where was I? I gotta find where I was. Okay, and if they say it's boring and too long, it's a paddling. You're talking about your kids with Lord of the Rings? That's funny. I'm hoping that once the money from superhero movies dries up, the sci-fi fantasy budget goes up again. Yeah, it seems kind of like right now that's slowly transitioning into the video game trend. Are y'all seeing that? I feel like I'm seeing a lot of video game stuff slowly take over, which I feel like isn't a bad thing if it's done right. I don't know. Really, none of it's a bad thing if it's done well, right? A good story is a good story. Freaking love Arcane. I'm really enjoying Fallout so far, and I love Ella Purnell, so like I'm so glad it is getting the attention it deserves. But yeah, and then obviously there's been a lot of video game flops that really kind of suck. Like the new Borderlands, I haven't seen it, but it looks weird. It looks like you can tell the people who made it didn't play the franchise or care about it all that much. You can tell Arcane was made with like the utmost care. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. I think the tide is turning. Oppenheimer is such a huge indicator of a changing tide. That's true. That's very true. Being the producer now seems like you're an activist. Okay, but only Chris Nolan could have gotten away with making a movie like that. Yeah, that's true on that scale, at least right now. Yeah, that's true because his is a name. See, and that's a different kind of familiarity where like they don't want to take risks, so they bank on the familiarity of IPs and intellectual properties, franchises, titles, etc. to draw an audience in. Christopher Nolan's name does the same thing, where his name is familiar enough to an audience that will draw in what he needs in the box office. But that's good though. I'm glad he's at least making original stories. Like I'll give him that. I love his movies. So yesterday I watched an almost 3-hour critique of Fallout that absolutely ripped it apart. Well, I like the show. I think it's the most fun I've had with TV in a long time. I'll give it that. Speaking games, I finished my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 over the weekend. How'd you like it? How'd you like it? What was your ending? Were you a bad guy or a good guy? That's awesome. I freaking love that game. I think tomorrow for stream I'm gonna get back into Baldur's Gate because I'm not gonna lie, I'm like low-key forgetting the PC keys and functions. I was thinking about that today where I was like, do I remember how to play that game? And I don't know if I do, so yep, that's what we're doing. I doing with the leg? This is wrapping over. I'm really sad that it's not sweater weather really anymore, because I love wearing clothes like this. It's my favorite. Another reason why I need to leave Florida. One of many, really. But I can tell it's getting to that time. It's that time where I'm gonna be really stubborn about wearing stuff like this, and the weather's just gonna fight me. It's gonna fight me on it. It hits 99 degrees where I live later this week. 99. And it's the first week of May. I'm upset. I'm like, I was actually mad looking at that. Yeah, I feel like the critiques might be causing sort of the same thing that the corporization of movies does. The joy. Yeah, the joy of movies, TVs, games is forgotten. I totally agree with that. There's a line for criticizing. Like, criticizing is good. It's how you get better. It's how you don't let subpar material slide, right? Critique can be good. And it's improvement, right? It's when it's done in a good spirit. I do feel like there's a line, especially on the internet, with like rage baiting and people being mad just for being upset and like getting views or clicks, or also just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a genre of its own now. And sometimes when I watch those videos or people send them to me, or I don't know, I'm just seeing what they say about something, I can sometimes counteract their point with other film or storytelling logic. Like, I can tell they're just looking for stuff to like shit on that I could just as easily, like, yes, they're nitpicking it, but I can also tell you why it's not nitpicking and here's why it could make sense. I remember there was something about that on a show I worked on where this was on My Dad the Bounty Hunter, which was a Netflix show I worked on during the pandemic. And in the second season, there's this one world that has there's like a kingdom in the sky, and they I'm trying to like do this a little bit spoiler free and then also not bore you with details that don't matter. There's a kingdom in the sky, and it was lifted from the sky to escape imprisonment, essentially. So they all live in the sky, beautiful buildings, rich culture, it's awesome. And down on the ground, it's like very dry canyons, and there are mines, because that's part of what they used to do, is they would have the people who now live in this great glorious kingdom would work in the fucking mines of this canyon. But it's dry, it's arid, there's not a lot of plants. At some points in the show, you go into the caves and such, and it's almost bog-like, where it's like trees and lots of big roots cut up and swampy and water. And I remember the team at one point talked about like, oh, are people gonna get on us about like, why are there these big roots underground if there aren't plants above? Like, why would there be roots and no plants? And like, to us, the logic was a subterranean ecosystem that exists within the rocks but couldn't survive up in the arid air of this like sci-fi space planet, right? Because then it's also like sci-fi kind of like made up science where like, yeah, stuff like that could totally exist even if it's not on Earth. And like, speaking of it, there is like kind of some basis for that being a real thing. But I remember that was a talk we had about like, oh, are people gonna like shit on us for something like this? And I don't know, it's funny. I think about that stuff often when I watch those kinds of videos. Because people do talk like that in writers' rooms and designing rooms. Sometimes stuff is missed, but often it's at least talked about. It's very rare, I think, that it's not. Okay, I'm really happy with how... Oh, the final fight ended! Hell yeah. I didn't even try to plan for it. But I got to finish the brain off with a raged up jumping. No way. Okay, on a ledge crit with my bard. Nice. Barb. Nice. That's fun. So, okay, in that fight, did you fight the dragon? Did you run straight for the brain, or did you fight the stuff in between? Because my first fight, I was being dumb. my second fight was a lot easier. There's actually a very interesting TV show called Midnight Gospel. I want to mention it because it did something different. Oh yeah. Hey, actually feel free to drop that in Discord if you want. A friend of mine worked on that show. One of the background painters for Midnight Gospel then worked on My Dad the Bounty Hunter with me, and she was one of my coworkers. She's awesome. I love her. Kristen Garland is her name. She's now art directing and she's kicking ass. But yeah, Midnight Gospel's a good show. She did Midnight Gospel and She-Ra, I think, before she came to Dad. But I remember she said she liked Midnight Gospel. I haven't actually gotten to sit and like see it though. Okay, there we go. Got this. Kind of got these looping around. I'll finish these. I'll finish these. They did? Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard very good things about that show. You let Karlach turn? How was that? I casted Sanctuary on her and fought with everyone else. Wow. Was that a hard decision for you, Miley? Because I had her in my party too, and I didn't know what to do. I was, oops. Sorry, Mike. I was stuck. Okay, I see now. I kind of like the way this leg looks better. Okay. This next one should be easy. We just got a torso. We got a side. Okay. I love that show, though I accidentally started on the mom episode and cried my eyes out. I only returned to the show once I found out the rest of the episodes are more chill. That's like your first Futurama episode being Jurassic Bark. Or like, oh shit, what's it called? Luck of the Fryish? Do we have Futurama fans in the chat? I love that show. Particularly the older episodes. I don't have beef against the newer ones, so I just think the older ones are like peak. It's peak writing. And man, Jurassic Bark. I remember I first watched that episode because I watched that show younger than I probably should have, but whatever. That episode made me bawl. I was feeling a lot of things. Luck of the Fryish too. Because I have a younger brother and I remember it made me, like, oh, it's like my brother. Oh. Luck at the Fryish, yeah. Yeah, those two were my biggest ones. Got me. It wasn't an easy decision, but based on stuff she was saying leading up to it, I leaned into what she wanted. And the scenes with her after the fact made me more sure that was the right choice. Oh, that's cool. I kind of want to try that one day. I just don't. I feel so bad. I've done it twice, and I've made Orpheus do it both times. Which might be bad. I don't feel great doing that either, but it's just like at that point, you have such a camaraderie. You know what I mean with all your teammates? It's like easier to do it with Orpheus because like you don't know the guy in that way, but then also, he's like spearheading his race. It's bad. Hey, just here to say hi. Hi, Lily Pad. But I'll keep the stream on in the background to please the Twitch overlords. Well, thank you. I very much appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, Lily. We've been talking a lot about films, and I don't know. Don't know if I'll be able to get all this done. But I'm also enjoying the conversation. It's fun. That's kind of the nice thing with these drawing streams too. It's like, sometimes with Baldur's Gate, I have to pay more attention to what's going on. But with these, it's a little easier for me to like, I don't know. You do whatever you need to do. Okay, how would this work? Like toes, foot? Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, that looks fine. This is fine. Maybe we just gotta move it over. This is good. Okay, this one's gonna be further up. I think I actually hear Alex in a meeting right now. Uh-oh. And I hear Percy now. Guys, Percy went up to the cabin with us for the vacation, and he went on hikes, and he had a great time. Oh, I should post that in Pets. There's some pictures and some videos of him trying to climb a waterfall, because this dog, I know you've heard him, barks at anything that moves in front of our window. Anything. Also, is scared of inanimate objects. If we walk past people's driveways and they like leave out a TV they're throwing out or a piece of furniture, we pass a fire hydrant, he's like, what is that? What's going on? And he freaks out and he starts growling and sometimes barking at it. Granted, he's gotten better as he's older, but generally speaking, that's the way of things. He is fearless. This little guy, he's like this big, was fearless with the waterfalls. Did not give a shit about the rushing waters, the huge rocks, none of it, and started climbing up the waterfall even as he was slipping and was like, nah, we're going. Wild. I don't understand what that disconnect is. If it's made of plastic, hates it. Rocks? Send me up. So bizarre. But I'm glad he likes hiking, because I want to take him on more hikes whenever the time comes. Yeah, I accidentally clicked on the option for Orpheus to do it because I thought it would give me, oh, more dialogue options, but it didn't, so I did my retcon reload. Hey, that's okay. We've all been there. How'd he do on the long drive? He actually did really well. So in the mountains, like to get to the cabin where we stay, there's a lot of switchbacks, and that kind of bothers him. We mostly keep him in the crate in the back seat for safety reasons. So like if something happens, he's not like hurled around, or he's not like, he's less likely to get hurt if he's in his crate, especially with how small he is. So yeah, we keep him in the crate in the back, and we put like pillows and blankets and his toys back there so he's as comfortable as possible. But yeah, the switchbacks are hard for him. Sometimes I do just let him sit in my lap because it makes him less anxious. The switchbacks will make him pant and kind of like shake a little bit. So if I hold him, he doesn't. But that's only like an hour of the drive. The other 11 hours were pretty chill. He just doesn't like when we stop. And then he sits up. He's like, what's going on? And then when we start moving again, like on the highways and stuff, it's really easy when you don't stop at all. Then he just lays and sleeps. So that's really nice. But yeah, the conversation with Carl like directly afterward made me believe it was the right choice for me. Oh, that's good. And the other conversations later just hammered it in more. I wonder what the epilogue is like with that. Because I've seen some epilogue clips with her, but I don't want to see too much. Like, I see a little bit and then I always look away because I'm like, oh, but what if I want to experience it? I don't know. I always spoil myself, so. Sounds like Percy was born in the wrong millennia. He would have been a wild man in the past, and the modern stuff freak him out. Honestly, though, I do kind of think that. Like you joke, but also think you're right. He also loves being outside. Like anytime we open the door to go to our back patio, he kind of runs to like sneak between our legs to sit outside. But we also have to be careful because he has a really thick black dark coat. So if he's in the heat too much, he actually like burns up, which is so unfortunate because he loves being outside. But like we can't, I don't know, we gotta be careful. Or even like the asphalt in Florida, we have to wait to walk them until sunsets, in the summer at least. Because in the summer, the road will burn his paws, and he hates wearing those little shoes. So, yeah, he'd probably also do well. Probably living elsewhere. Or a different time, you know. But at the very least, maybe not in the suburban sprawl that we live in the heat. Not a Florida dog then? Yeah, definitely not. Poor guy. I feel him. I don't want to give too much detail because I don't know how much of that ending you know about. I'll put a little clip of that jump crit. Oh yeah, of the brain and Discord? Dude, do it. I'm all for the Baldur's Gate clips. I can't wait to play more tomorrow. I also think actually a group of friends of mine, we're doing the Strahd campaign. I think we're gonna pick that up again soon too. So that's exciting. We've kind of had to hit pause because like some of us are, one of us is a student back in school. Oh, hey, Comteca, there you are. May 19th, baby. Yeah. One of us is still like in school and busy with that. One of them's a teacher and this is a crazy time of year. Me and Alex just going on vacation. So like, should be wild. Should be wild right now. I feel like that always hits the fan in May though. That's just like the way of things, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, we got this. The lump. There we go. Hey, speaking of Comteca, how is your new job? I think the last time I really talked to you, it was like right before you were starting your new job. And now you're like in the thick of it, my dude. I hope it's going well. Also, how you liking the remote work? Isn't it nice? I never want to go back. I know it's a hot take for some people, but nope. You can't drag me back to the office. The real BBEG in any campaign is scheduling. Amen to that. You're 100% correct. Okay, it's a combo clip from early in the game of my first party wipe to the last hit, how it started versus how it's going. That's adorable. I absolutely adore that. Absolutely adore that. Okay, whoop. I'm liking the lines on this one. Yeah, I'm liking the lines better on this one. I think this might need to be thicker, but whatever. Oh no. I might have messed it up. Oh god. That's alright. We're here to learn. Add in an extra toe. Bam. Bam. Okay, I would slowly go nuts if I didn't have to leave my home for work. Yeah, I get that. But see, okay, between Percy, a dog helps you get out of the house a lot. And then what I like to do is, I love to go to bookstores and cafes to do drawing or like research stuff. And that alone, I'm good. But I'm also a huge introvert, right? So like that's another thing. Totally understand if you're extroverted at all, probably not your thing. My husband also definitely has to leave the house more often than I do for that, like, the insanity not to set in. So with how often he goes out and I go with him, then I'm good. He does that for me. Pretty good, finally in the swing of things. Having to solve actual problems now, Lamau. Remote work is GOAT. Oh, good. I'm really glad that's working out. Yeah, and you'll only settle in more too as you get into the swing of things more. Though to be fair, finished commutes are like 10-20 minutes. Oh wow, I cycle to work in about 12 minutes. Yeah. One time for a commute, I had to drive an hour and a half one way and an hour and a half back. I was in my car 3 hours every single day. And I hated it. It was the worst. I'm gonna sing a song apparently about how much I hated it. The funny thing is it was also for a job that I hated and I knew I hated. But that's also just like my perfectionist ways a bit. And now my husband and I joke about like, can you believe we used to do that for something we hated? And now we just like, nah, screw that. You do you. You do what makes you happy. Screw the man. Yeah. Orlando traffic is fun, sarcasm. Yeah, that's how it was. It would have been an hour drive, and with traffic, it always added a half an hour. I used to have to commute into Orlando, fam. It was awful. Oh, scheduling being the BBEG reminded me of a meme I saw recently. I just put it in the shit posting. Good. Awesome. Yeah, I need to go and fix Discord. I feel bad that Daesh got smited. Daesh, if you're still there, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna fix it, I promise. I just feel really bad. It's probably not good to be a streamer that easily feels bad about stuff like that. Alright, I'm gonna do one more. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more. I know there's 2 more on the page. I'm gonna do one more. So I can take it easy and chit-chat with y'all a bit. That is honestly shocking. I feel like the US has brainwashed you to such low standards. I would agree with you, Rick. Because the more I do things for myself, the more I realize how bullshit it is. And then I get angry, right? It makes me upset. Which is why I'm really, the latter half of my 20s has been me figuring out how to, like, break cycles and live life the way I want. And what sucks about that is that it's not often accepted societally. So, like, I work as an artist. I feel like making that switch initially kind of, like, got some head nods. People close to me were very supportive, but, like, I understand switching from music to art doesn't sound super lucrative. And to be frank, right now it's not. Working at Netflix, super was. Went through a sick period. Right now, I have a job, but it's not, like, lucrative, but it's getting off the ground. And I know with the way I do things now, like I see you mentioning, yeah, same with vacations, getting 5 weeks paid vacation every year, plus some extra. I heard you guys get 2. Yeah, we get 2. Unless you're in some super lucky scenario where you can buy more vacation time, but that means you get a lower salary or something, right? With what I'm doing, I have set up my life this way because I hate the system. I want to be able to live where I want to live, do work that I enjoy, and yeah, maybe sometimes it's not always going to be great, but generally speaking, it's work that I enjoy. I'm not, like, completely killing myself over it. I get to work from home when I want, which as an introvert makes me happy because I don't want to do those crazy commutes. Also, with my current situation, I just took off for a week vacation. I'm going back to North Carolina in June for a wedding for like 5 days. I'm taking 2 weeks off to travel Europe, also in June. I'm going on another trip in July. And I think another one to New England in October. That's apparently a possibility now. So, like, that's already, like, 5 trips. And that doesn't include other things coming up for my husband and I that I'll speak on later. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. But with the way I do things now, it's super easy for me to work that into my schedule. And I want to keep that up. I don't want to have to say no to things because I'm working a job that drains me. That's like the good thing with my husband's job is like he has unlimited PTO, which is unlimited but also not, and his company just switched to that. They're trying to figure it out. It's kind of funny to watch, honestly. Because they're starting to roll some things back with it. But his job lets him work from home. It's still much cushier than a lot of other jobs, and he gets paid really well. So, I don't know. We're in much better situations than I think that your average American, and I think it's because we're so idealist, and we're like, oh, life can be that way. It might be a bit unorthodox. Some people might think we're being weird or lazy, but honestly, we're a lot happier with it. A lot healthier. I don't give a shit what other people think. I'm gonna do it. Like, people might think, I know this is something that I think my in-laws think a little bit, that, like, streaming, for instance, is like, you know, the whole not a real job and stuff like that. But, like, the reality is, streaming, social media, YouTube, is how you build an audience and a brand. And you all know how I hate, like, the fucking, disingenuine feeling of those names. But, like, that's the reality of it. If I want to make art, then, like, I have to, like, be known and be seen. And then, like, this is how it's done nowadays. So, it's funny. There's definitely, like, I don't know. The world's changing, and I think a lot of America is being left behind in tradition. And it's slowly killing us with, like, side hustles and shit. That's crazy you guys get 5 weeks paid vacation. Ugh. That sounds like straight up slavery. Yeah. That happened to, okay, my sister-in-law's fiance, to go on this North Carolina trip we went on, their honeymoon and that Europe trip in June, he had to buy extra vacation days. So his salary is now lower to be able to go on those vacations to get PTO for it. My company does unlimited PTO, but you can argue whether or not it is truly unlimited or if it's better for the company versus the employee. Yeah, that's exactly what Alex is going through right now with his company a bit. They had unlimited PTO and then people started taking advantage of it the first 6 months they instated it. So now they're like, actually we're limiting it to this much. And it's basically the same as before, but it's funny. Okay, at Comteca, unlimited PTO seems to only exist for companies where they also expect you to work 60 hours a week. Yeah, that could be. At Alex's company, much like at Netflix, it was like you worked your 40 hours, but it's also task or assignment based. So also, if you just finish your stuff early, sometimes people slow down a bit. Alex is not like that because he's dedicated. He was a teacher, so he tends to overwork, if anything. It's that band director gene that he has in him. But I worked with other artists where, like, they got done at 5, but if they were done with all of their assignments at 3:30, then they were like, I'm out, bye. I never finished my assignments that early, but I know it depends. You could do PTO every Thursday and Friday then? Hell yeah. That's kind of what my dad does with his PTO, but he's not on unlimited. 5 weeks paid vacay, plus you often get months pay extra as vacation bonus? Damn. Maybe we'll move to Europe. Maybe America will just crash and burn in the next 4 years, and depending on who's elected, and Alex and I will just jump ship. Who knows? I'm at 5 weeks vacation at my work, but it took me 15 years to get there. Oh, wow. I started at 3, got 4 at 8 years, and 5 at 15. Wow. You've been with your company a while then. Okay, Comteca says, so far my job has been nice and stresses a work-life balance. I found that to be true in my experience. That's really good, but I've only been here around 30 days. I log off immediately at 5. But American hustle culture brainwashes us into feeling guilty. Yeah, that's 100% true. And the company will make a huge difference. Or not even the company. Sometimes, like, the team you work with within the company will change kind of how you feel about that. It's super hard to explain, but people do often make you feel bad about it. I have yet to see someone's PTO request be rejected there. That's good. I don't even know how to use 5. Both my parents were teachers. I know the type. Yeah, and especially like, oh yeah, it's like the teacher type, but then also like band directors. If you guys have ever met a band director from Florida or Texas, I feel like they're a different breed of person with how dedicated to their job they have to be. I think all teachers have to be, especially if you stick with it in this day and age, because there's a lot of just baggage and shit you have to put up with, frankly. But yeah, man, I mean, band directors, because you have like all the extra rehearsals, like, I mean, you're there like every day after school doing something. And then sometimes you're like organizing music and stuff. You're there. I used to have a band director that would stay after school until 9 p.m. every day and would show up at school 6 a.m. every day. And that was like normal. And that's not uncommon for band directors either. It's crazy. That's why I'm very glad he switched jobs, and I think he is too. Okay, most of my job is waiting for problems to arise and then fixing them. So some days I do a shit ton, some days I do almost nothing. That's awesome though. It seems like it'll keep you on your toes too, but you still have downtime. That's nice. Finland welcomes all. I've already gotten Banana to start thinking about moving here. I do have a lot of family in the UK, which I've also has heard might be a bit politically tumultuous right now, unfortunately. But I have family in England, I have family in Wales, so that'd be a good getting in point. I guess it would really depends on where Alex's job could get us, because I feel like getting in with a high-level software engineer would be more attractive on a visa than freelance artist. Oh, wait, you know what, though? If I ever work for Envar, which is the style I want to go towards, look up Envar Studio. They do stuff for League, Arcane, a lot of just that type of art, but they do like packages for all kinds of studios. They have a certain style though, and I love their style. Would love to imitate it in my own work. That's part of what I want to do on Twitch after my current film. They do move you to Sweden. They're based in Sweden and they'll move you there and they'll pay for it, so maybe that's the answer. That's good, definitely different. I've only known people who join startups where they have huge expectations. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, Comteca, I was a little scared for you when I heard it was a startup because sometimes that shit gets crazy. I sign off at 5 strictly. I'm definitely not the norm. People get annoyed at me when I decline 5 p.m. meetings. Nah, good for you, Jack. You gotta protect that. Protect yourself. That stuff's important. Okay, let's see what we remember. This will come here. Oop. The butt connects this way. I don't know how much of today's Morpho session is gonna stick, but guys, I had fun. I enjoyed hanging. Maybe, I'm honestly not sure. We're very by the rules folk, so it might be. But if you can get a job or a study program here, for sure you can get in. Okay, interesting. I feel like Alex would have a better time with that, but also, that's only if America implodes. We do like it here. Despite the hellscape it seems to be, and in some ways it is our home. And honestly, after traveling as much as I have, I think just leaving Florida is gonna feel like a big step up. You know what I mean? Did you know our governor's gonna pave our roads with radioactive waste? So, yeah, it'll be good. Oops, not that big of a quad. Okay, I do want to show this muscle a bit. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm in a zone now. Wait, and the butt. That's too big of a butt. Nonsense. Okay, in Scotland I heard a story of a guy who was a whiz with 3D modeling, so he got hired to Ubisoft Stockholm without speaking Swedish or English. Yeah, stuff like that does exist. I feel like maybe whenever I redo my portfolio, and I am gonna have my art lean a bit more towards like what would be considered like animation still, sure, but also gaming and illustration. I know the style I'm going for. I think it would open up more worldwide opportunities for me. Or just like opportunities that aren't strictly in LA. which is what I want. I would still love to work in animation, obviously, but like I'm way more interested in, is the project gonna be with a good team and is it interesting, rather than just, I'll take anything, please, give it to me. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I know also there's like a level of paying your dues and such too. I get that. Doing work that maybe you're not 100% psyched about, but I saw a video of something yesterday where somebody was it was a YouTube video, an animator that was laid off. I think her name is Nia Dragon. I had never watched her before, but she seems super cool. It was just recommended on my YouTube, like, front page kind of thing. And she's a compositor. So she layers animation and special effects and prettifies it for it to be TV ready. It's like one of the final steps of animating and putting everything together. But she was saying how she's been laid off for the third year in a row, which is super common in animation. Like when you roll off or a layoff happens for a production, that's like not uncommon. That's just the industry for you and how it goes. It's just a lot worse now in this age. But she was saying how like she knows the kind of stuff she wants to work on, but she's always been in adult animation and she doesn't really know why, because she doesn't like it all that much. Like, she doesn't hate it, but like she showed a clip of something she had to composite and she was just like, yeah, this is a bit too raunchy for my taste and what I want to be doing. And it was super raunchy. I mean, like, I felt for her if she said like, yeah, this isn't really my thing. And I was like, oh yeah, that would make me uncomfortable too. And like, I like spicy art. like Babs horror stuff, I love it. The thing she had to do was like, oh, I don't know. It just didn't seem fun. I get it. So she was like, yeah, I really want to do, I mean, kind of like what I've been talking about, where she's like, I'm going to dedicate more time to YouTube. And she sells like stickers, I guess, and has like a personal shop of like stationery stickers, that kind of thing. And she wants to devote more time to that because it's what is fulfilling to her. And I thought that was a good way to put it, where like, yeah, I want to be creatively fulfilled and I don't know, just have the freedom to be able to go on vacations and stuff. Okay, we'll keep the big butt. I just think it's a little too rounded here. We gotta cut some of that off. We're talking adult animation. I mean, yeah, just like this one clip in particular was like, I don't even know how to describe it, because like I'm definitely not a prude person. Like, I mean, you guys know I have a spicy art channel on my Discord. I'm like not averse to that whatsoever. You know what I mean? I don't know. And like the humor of it's fine. Spiciness is fine. Even like gore and stuff doesn't really bother me that bad. I mean, I don't necessarily prefer it, but I'm like, okay, yeah, like, let's go. If I was asked to work on Castlevania, like, hell yeah, I would do that. But she showed the clip and I was just like, yeah, I get it. When she said it was unfulfilling and she missed the creative freedom of it, I was like, yeah, I feel. I would be the same. Oh, Castlevania. I know. I gotta watch it. I've watched the first episode. It's not up my husband's alley. I watched it with him, but I gotta go back and... So many things to watch, you know? So many things. Alright, let's just maybe shade it a bit. There's something I don't like about the lines on that one. Maybe we'll just kind of like, yeah, smudge them away, and that's okay. Yeah, it's fine. There you go. Boom. Okay, could just be one of those things that you hear about Scandinavian nations. Everyone talks about how good their national programs are, and then it's always followed with a, yeah, but immigration's on lockdown for that reason. Like I literally just did. It's no idea how true it actually is, yeah. I guess they Google translated their way through the first few months. That's crazy. Florida Man, the Politician Edition. God, I know. It's... I think Florida's education, too. I did not know this. Apparently, Florida's education just dropped to 50th out of 50 in all of the nation. We dropped, apparently, like the year before we were 48th. Apparently now Florida has now dropped to 50th, which is a shame because when I was in school, in high school, that was far from the case. It was considered one of the better states, like above the 50% mark in the standard deviation. And now it's like bad. And the reason that also hurts me is because that means if it keeps up, my degree is soon gonna be worth not as much. So that's cool too. Love to hear it. Love it. Hey, technically we're 50 out of 51. Get out of here. Too big of a butt? No such thing. That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, if I win the lottery, I'll hire you to do something and you can work remotely from the mountains with both 5 weeks off and unlimited PTO. Rick, I would cry. And hey, you have great taste in stories. You want to make that vampire thing? I'll do the concept art for you. I'd be happy to. Victoria will ask every time she sees you if you've watched Has Been Hotel yet. I want to. Kamteka, I'm not sure if you were here for the movie talk. There's lots of things I have to sit down and see now. And there's a lot, and I don't have enough time in the day. I really want to, though. That's seriously one on my list, because I have heard nothing but great things, especially from the Baldur's Gate Tumblr accounts I follow. It's like they've all gone from Baldur's Gate to Has Been Hotel, and now do both a little bit, so I know it's up my alley. DC gets its own place in the rankings. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Do they actually, though? Are we 50 out of 51? That's so bad. I didn't see the statistic. Alex was telling me about it. And being the former teacher that he is, I trusted him. Alright, I am gonna do this last one. We're gonna end it on this wacky pose. Oh, I'm an ideas man through and through. I need to hire executioners. Excellent. Executioner? I guess that is what you would say, isn't it? That makes it sound like I'm gonna kill you, Rick. Like I'm here to take you out or something. Anyways. I don't really know where to go from there. Finnish education has dropped to 4th best in the world. Shut up. How dare you? It's part of my insecurity, and I make ignorant American jokes, okay? Because I know. And the sad thing is, I'm an intelligent... I can't even freaking talk. I'm an intelligent individual. I know this about myself. Don't judge me. It's really sad that my degree is going to be worth not as much in a few years, though. That does actually make me upset. Okay, I don't want it to be this lopsided. Boop. We were first when I was still in school. Not saying that because of me, but that was because of me. Yeah. You know what? You're right. And that's why Florida's education has dropped, because I'm no longer in school, right? Me and my friends, we all left, so it tanked. I'm just kidding. That's such a boomer thing to say, too. It's like, well, when I was in school, we were just better. We were just better at things, so we blah, blah, blah. So silly. Okay, so we have these coming up, but I suppose this could be a bit wider. Yeah, let's kind of clear off some of these lines. We got a super rough line of action, that's fine. A rough butt. We're 16th in starting teacher pay, but the issue is it just doesn't go anywhere. Well, yeah, that makes sense because like, if you look at Florida's cost of living, I mean, it's not cheap. I know it's not like California or Washington levels of expensive, but on the East Coast, yeah, and really most of the rest of the country, it's crazy expensive. Like even, I was being in North Carolina this last weekend. It was easier to get groceries. That was evident. That was extremely evident. Well, you are an insolent person. How dare you? I trip over my speech. Which is not great for a streamer, but it is what it is. Brevard wouldn't guarantee you a raise until 20 years in. Ugh. Yeah, it's crazy. That stinks. It stinks. I remember my cousin was, he's actually now a software engineer. Alex helped him jump ship to do software engineering stuff. But before, this was like right before the pandemic started. And he was like, oh, I'm thinking of applying to a new teaching job at a new school. And he was thinking about applying to, it was like Orange County, Brevard County, Volusia County, one other spot. It was like a big swath around Central Florida, right? And we told him about some of the pay in some areas because he had worked in Orlando, and he was like, oh, I'm just gonna stick with Orlando. Because literally, like, Orlando just like makes more money because it is more expensive, but it's got Disney, cost of living's higher, but because of that, it's like more money circulates. All the surrounding counties of Orlando don't really compare. It's tough. Just toof. Okay, so this will kind of reach out here. Okay, we kind of have a shoulder blade thing going on here. Okay, hold on. We're doing this. Okay, the legs are doing something awful. Gotta figure this out. But yeah, luckily with Alex's and my own current setup, it's looking easier for us to. Another good thing is pick when we vacation. It was really hard when he was a teacher, and it was just like, okay, you have summers. And like, don't get me wrong, summer's a great time to like travel and do stuff, but like, I don't know, there were times in the year when we wanted to do other things and we just couldn't. And then like the amount of fear they put into you of a teacher leaving behind their program or their students with a sub long term, or, you know, becoming a behavior problem because you're not there, or not learning as much as they should because you're not there to supervise them, was just a lot. It was a lot. So he only really had summers, and even then he did extra band camps. So even with the summers, it was like we didn't really get a full summer. I mean, me too. That was back in the era when I also worked band camps, right? I was an orchestra player. I was a horn player. So a good way for me to make extra money was often like, okay, yeah, I'll teach at these band camps and I'll get some new private students from it. If they like me enough, they'll sign up for lessons with me and I'll start teaching them during the school year. But yeah, it's just, he's a lot. Alright, this is cool. We kind of got like the underbit of the foot here. That's way too thick a foot, but I kind of like that shape. We're just gonna... Yeah. And draw over it. Yeah, it's not bad. I also realized I haven't drinking any water. I have to do that. I decided to lower my hours by almost half in August for the rest of the year. I still need a recovery stint. Oh, that's like this coming August you're gonna do that? That's good though. Especially if you're recognizing that you're starting to get tired and burn out. I think that's kind of what like that's kind of the phase I'm beginning to enter now with like this vacation this last week was awesome. And now I think my film is starting to slow down, and if it's not, it kind of has to. Because I have to tell them when it hits June, I kind of have to go because I have like the wedding, the Europe trip, like I'm basically gone all of June. Turns out most weekends in July, I think I'm busy now too. And because of the news I might tell you all soon, might be busy also after that. So it's fun because it's not work related stuff and that way it's good, but also I'm gonna be bopping around like nobody's business. So that's gonna be fun. Rip D&D. I know, if we could ever play on a non-weekend day. Alex and I also talked about hybrid. It's gonna be like June 1st, we are in North Carolina for a wedding. There's 2 weekends in June, we're also in Europe. First weekend of July, we're in North Carolina again. Third weekend of July, no, second weekend of July might be in Ohio. Third weekend of July, I think I'm going to my grandmother's house in Tampa for the weekend. It's crazy. Crazy. The teasing, the news better be worth it. I don't know, it depends. I just don't have a life outside of work and recovery from it. And I clearly wouldn't be able to work full time yet. Oh yeah, maybe it's just the burnout still haunting me. Hey, that's real. And you should listen to that, because I've been in a similar boat, and when I don't listen to it, I pay for it later. Since starting streaming, honestly, I've been listening to that more than ever, of like when I should do art and work, you know, whenever I should lay off of art on stream, and why I've been playing more Baldur's Gate because of film and stuff, or like I'll tell my art director when I can take on more work or less work. And instead of just saying yes to everything like I normally do, and that has paid off dividends. And I need to keep that up. Fine, we'll join you in Europe and play D&D. You're welcome to. I'm really looking forward to that trip. It's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, I don't want to risk another one. Yeah, for sure. This one took almost 2 years of recovery from. And I know they get worse, so the next would be 5 years. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced this with burnouts. Because, like, this is how mine was last year, where... This could also just be a me thing. I'm a very hopeful person. So when something happens, I often, like... I don't know how to say this. I'm not an optimist, right? If anything, I would say I'm more of a realist. I do tend to kind of get negative about things sometimes, or I can be a little doom and gloom, as Alex will tell you sometimes, because I'm just like, well, here's like the most likely possibility of X, right? Or like, this is the most likely thing that'll happen. And sometimes it's not what people want to hear. But I would say I'm hopeful, where I acknowledge the bad and then I'm like, oh, but this could come from it. Or like, yeah, you know what? I think if I do these things, they'll get better. Rationally speaking. And with burnout, I will often be like in the midst of it. I recognize it, and then I go like, okay, but you know what? I think I'm doing better now. So if I do these things, it'll get better. And I keep telling myself like I'm actually getting better now, not necessarily going back to work, but like that I'm better because I'm taking a break. And I'm not actually processing that I'm in active recovery. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how to articulate it. I think when I'm actively recovering, it's just magically fixed, but what's actually going on is that my brain is in the act of fixing itself, and I need to not jump to the next thing immediately. Because I did that, like, last summer, and then I pushed it way too hard, and then I ended up in the hospital. That was bad. That was bad, 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 bad. And the hospital trip is what made me realize, hey, Alyssa, you should take shit easy and be kind to yourself. And it's okay to take breaks and not be perfect all the time. And like, your journey is your own, man. And so now anyone that comes into stream and talk about it, I say that to them. Because it's normal, damn it. It needs to be more normal. Hope in this economy? Oh, wait, that one hurt. I know. Never tell me the odds, yeah. The hospital. Yeah, I mean, it was just, it was a trip because I had a migraine for 3 weeks straight. It didn't have a break, and that's never happened to me before. I've gotten migraines, but I've never had one 3 weeks without a break. And I started for a couple days getting dizzy spells. And I think it was partly because I was coming back from burnout. I was overworking for a class I was taking. But it was a really big deal for me. Like, saying this in retrospect now, it feels stupid too. But it's for a class that was a really big deal with a really big name artist. I wanted to do well, and I wanted to keep up with my peers. That's another thing. It was like a comparison thing. It was just bad mental health, bad burnout. It was not a good time. It was not what I should have done when I was coming back from burnout already, but I thought I was ready for it. Like, yeah, I'm ready to jump back into art, and it's a class. It'll be good, right? It was not. I think I had the migraine and the dizzy spells because for about 2 weeks straight, I had gotten maybe an average of 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night. Sometimes skipping nights of sleep altogether. Sometimes because I was working, sometimes just because of like insomnia and being unable to sleep. So, well, I'm unable to sleep. I might as well work because I need to keep up with everything. It was just, it was not a good time. And then the dizzy spells and the insomnia and such got bad enough that I was like, I'm a little concerned. Something might be wrong with my brain. Maybe we should go to the hospital. So I went and got like CAT scans, and I got like all these tests ran on me, and luckily everything's fine. They were just like, you need to stop and you need to sleep. And I slept for 18 hours one day. And that was when it hit me. I was like, I'm done. So I took the rest of the year off through the holidays. I started doing my own personal projects, which is what I've talked about on stream a bit. And then I started streaming in hopes of doing that. And then my current film project dropped out of nowhere, but it was a part-time gig that was really chill. And I was like, yeah, I think I could do that if it's just going to be what you say it is. Which it has been chill. And I love my directors and producers so much. So that's been like a really, like reinvigorating and hopeful experience, because now I feel like, okay, yeah, I know I can do art productions the way I used to and not be manic about it and burn myself out like I did. But yeah, crazy stuff. Forgot how we got onto burnout, but I do like being open with those stories so that it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's such a taboo for people to talk about burnout, especially in art and creative fields, but really, like, everyone gets it. And I want people to know that it's normal. And that they're not alone experiencing it, because that is a awful feeling. I know I'm going through burnout because because I start to have existential crises about having to work 40 hours a week for 30 more years. Yeah, as soon as I start feeling that way, I schedule a vacation. That's good. It's good that you have a finger on that pulse. You know what I mean? That's important. But sometimes you also need to measure if a change needs to be made too. I mean, it sounds like you've been at your job for like 15 years. So like, I totally understand if you're like invested in that. But I know that's the kind of change Alex and I made with our careers as teachers. But that was also just like I mean, we weren't even getting paid to live properly, you know what I mean? Like, that was a bad time. Okay, I'm not liking the foot, but that's okay. Let's go to the body. For me, the burnout took so long that I got used to the bad. So I've kept going. I'm 80% now. Now I'm at 80%. No, wait, now I'm at 80%. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. And like, I just need to sit back and like, I mean, now I'm actually doing a lot better, but it's because I'm saying no to things now and I'm accepting what I want and my limits. But I know what you're talking about. Where like I'd be in active recovery and I'd be like, no, I'm good. No, now I'm good. Now I'm good. Just because I forgot what life should be like. Yeah, now I'm at 80%. Are you sure? When mine was triggering, I was doing exhausting night work. Then one night I went to bed at 5 a.m. and almost overslept my shift at 1 a.m. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much sleep can impact that stuff too. Because mine, I mean, obviously from my story had to do with like my sleep schedule, taking care of like basic body functions. I remember my husband was like bringing me food and being like, Alyssa, you should stop. Alyssa, have you taken a break today? I'd be like, no, I'm fine. She was not fine. Okay, having chill support people is so key. Oh yeah. I don't know where I'd be without my husband and my friends. Like my close, like, in-person friends too. Thankfully, on a day-to-day basis, my job is tolerable or even good, so I'm not in a spot where I need to change. That's very good. I'm so glad to hear that, because that makes it even harder when you do need that change. There's also a bit of a devil you know situation there. If I changed companies, who knows what they'd be like? I feel that. I know people in that situation right now where it's like they want to move and they could transfer, but they don't know what the company's going to be like if they transfer. I feel that. Probably want to be chatting on Twitch in a different job, I think. That's true. That's another perk of these jobs. Like, I know Alex loves that about software engineering, is like he works from home, so he gets to make a hot lunch in the kitchen every day. He takes walking breaks and he has Twitch on out loud all the time, so it's a good gig. Elvolf! Ayo! Wish me a good night, otherwise I'm just going to sleep tight. Good night and sleep tight. I hope you get all the good rest. If you've been lurking, thank you for lurking, and if not, just thanks for popping in and saying hi. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I just realized I was zoomed in on a butt. I'm not paying attention. I'm chatting with y'all so much, but I'm having a good time. I miss talking. Thank you. Yeah, totally. Have a good evening. Hope to see you soon. I did that recently. I tried to switch to a different job in December, but I hated it immediately, so I switched back to McDonald's. Yeah. I mean, that's like a real devil, you know, saying it like that. That is very apt and correct. I've even talked about that with my husband before, where I've asked him, like, he's at a point in his career where he could probably make more money if he did the whole, like, you know, you guys have probably heard, like, the whole, oh yeah, software engineers, if you just jump ship every couple years, you can make a lot of money. Sorry, just thinking about toes for a second. Drawing this, you know, you can make a lot of money whenever you jump ship, and like you get the transfer bonus because they're trying to attract new talent and stuff, right? But he really likes the people he works with. And I totally get that. And then it's like, you know, what if you go somewhere and the office culture sucks, or your boss sucks, or the working culture is just like gross? He really likes the people that he's with, and they're supporting him a lot, and giving him opportunities. You know, he has interns now, and he's helping out 2 interns. Like, that's crazy. I feel like we both just started these career changes, but he met his new interns over the vacation. One of the days he had to pop in and work and say hey. So that was cool. My dad's also in a similar situation with that, where he's talked about, like, oh, my parents could transfer and move, but then it's also like, you know, he likes where he's at. If you move somewhere and he hates it, the tragedy. It's awful. Thinking about toes, I bet. Shut up, Comteca. How dare you? Affectionately. If I ever tell anyone to shut up, I say it affectionately. I would never actually tell someone to shut up. I'm too afraid. And there are the bad luck of having a few weeks of unemployment in between. Oh, it was good for your burnout recovery. I didn't realize I needed it. Yeah, that's one thing I also like about production work, is like, I'm signed up for a production, but I know that's limited, right? I know that's like 4 months to a year, and then I can either choose to take a break after that as long as I want, or hop onto another production if I'm invited, or maybe if I'm not invited right away. I do relish that break in between, because like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me pushing myself too hard. I do tend to burn out quite quickly. I don't know what that is. Okay, we got this. Doop. Doop. Got kind of... Thinking about toes again. Tech is gonna call me out. That foot is too big though. Alright, cool. That's it. We did it. I didn't think I'd do the whole page today. I'm gonna be honest. But we did it, and they don't look awful. It just took me, oh my god, almost 3 hours. I'm so sorry y'all were staring at butts and quads for 3 hours. Oh my god. Okay, I definitely personally prioritize having good work over more money. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at too. I mean, more money is definitely nice. Like, we're trying to play that game and work up the ladder. Because, you know, we need to expand and stuff soon too, but I know what you mean. Work-life balance is so important. And, like, being in an environment that makes you happy. I know when work goes to shit, the money helps absolutely zero. Yeah, for sure. Also, side note, I wonder why Kumteka is orange on my chat and green in your in-stream chat. I don't know, because there's actually a couple of, discrepancies with Kumteka, and there's another user that I have my two chats open on the same screen. And there's like 2 users that have discrepancies. I don't know what that is. I had no idea. Kumteka, do you know? I don't know if he knows. I've also wondered what my optimal work vacay schedule would be like. I think maybe like a 4-day weekend once per month. Ooh, that would be nice. I'm also a fan of the 4-day work week. I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition, but I love the whole 1 day to be a vegetable, 1 day to do chores, and then 1 day to actually do something and have fun. Like go out with friends. I'm a fan of that when there's a 3-day weekend. I'm thinking the red looks red to me, which show poorly on the black background. Oh, maybe that is it. That's interesting. In my OBS chat, he's like an indigo color. I don't know what that is. I like causing problems. You do kind of thrive in that, but it's fun. It's part of your charm. This isn't the first time I've stared at butts and quads for 3 hours. Oh my god. We've gone to the raunchy part of the stream. All right. Wow, I can't believe it has been almost 3 hours though. That's wild. Well, here's leg day. We did it. We did it. I didn't feel as rusty as I thought I would, so that's fantastic. I'll load it to the anatomy share of the Discord. Hell yeah, we did it. This is the type of leg day I can get behind. Oh, speaking of which, I actually have to do leg day today. I haven't worked out since before vacation. I'm like getting back to my schedule now, and today is leg day, so wish me luck. It's actually sad because I'm doing workout heavy. Not workout heavy. I have different types of workouts that I do based on the kind of training that I'm doing, right? So lately, for the last maybe like year, I've been really into running again. I go back and forth between a running focused training and a weightlifting focused training. And I'll often incorporate them in little bits to the other, but whatever I'm focused on is like the main bulk of it. I've been really into running lately, but the heat is so intimidating that it's already hitting 99 degrees in May that, I don't know, the weightlifting in an air-conditioned environment is looking real nice to me right now. And I do miss weightlifting and being a bit stronger, so maybe I'll get back to that. and say goodbye to running for a bit because it hurts. I got a Quest 3 yesterday. No way. Okay, and I immediately started playing Super Hot, and I'm out of shape, boy. Have you seen Jack, have you played Pistol Whip? I've never had a VR headset, so I've never gotten to try anything like this, but Pistol Whip looks like the most fun ever. It's like Beat Saber, but like with guns, and you're shooting at targets to like EDM music. It's freaking amazing. You should do it. I haven't worked out since my burnout, hence the lower hours. I want to exercise again, but I power walk 35 minutes per week. So no bueno. I mean, yeah, and if you cycle to work too, I mean, you have to imagine if I don't work out, I walk Percy a mile to a mile and a half a day, which isn't like a ton. But that's it. And then I sit on my ass, reading, drawing. Like if I didn't have the intense workouts that I have, then I would be in trouble. And I really like being fit and capable. It's something that's very important to me. Yeah. But you're also like on your feet at work. You're cycling, you're walking. Like I'm sure you're more in shape than your average, you know, office working American, I would say. Definitely could only run like 6 a.m. in that kind of heat. Yeah, and even 6 a.m., the lowest it gets some days in the summer is 80 to 82 degrees. Like the coldest it gets is still sweaty. You're still sweating. It's the worst. No, not yet. Super hot in Assassin's Creed Nexus to start. My dad had a Quest 2 when I lived with my parents for a short stint. Oh, okay, so I tried some of the exercise games there too. That's cool. Let me see if I'm gonna log off stream in a sec. I need to update Discord, make sure people don't get smited unnecessarily. I'm going to look up Pistol Whip. I'll put that in the video games channel if you or anyone else is interested in it. It just looks like a fun game. Like I said, I haven't played it. I've seen other YouTubers play it when it came out. Looks awesome. Looks like a fun time. 80 being the low temp sounds like hell on earth. I would 100% agree, Rick. Thank you. Welcome to Florida. What is it actually today? Hold up. Let me check you. Let me check. Because it keeps fluctuating, right? This is later in the week, so it bobbles. Okay, right now, the low temperatures hover around 70 degrees. And by the time we hit July, August, the low will probably be 80 degrees. The high temperatures in a couple days, well, right now they're like 87 to 89. And the high in a couple days is 99 degrees. It's awful. Definitely, I'll check it out. Yeah, cool. I'll post it. We're at a breezy 46 right now. I could wear my sweaters. I know we talk a lot about weather here. It's just it keeps getting hotter here, and I'm amazed, honestly. I'm impressed. I know the weather talk makes me sound a bit like a boomer, but it is what it is. All right, gang. That was our, that was Morpho. We did it. Okay, official snow depth, 7 centimeters. It's like 2.5 inches, but that's sus. Because I don't see none anywhere. Is that current, though? Like, in May, you have 2.5 inches of snow? That's nuts. That's like upper Minnesota. And even then, I don't know if they would quite get that. I know Minnesota, like if you go to the tip of it, they get crazy snow this time of year. Still, like in April, May. I mean, there's piles of it. Yeah, today's. Wow. I don't know if I'd want snow in May. I feel like by the time May hits, I want it to be spring proper. Where like maybe there's a little bit of snow, but there's still like the grass peeking up from the ground. I don't know. I'll find it one day. I'm gonna find the perfect spot for me. And I'll get to live my little witchy dreams. It'll be great. Some parts up north still have 24 inches. That's wild. That's wild too, because aren't you guys barreling towards like the day of all day sun, right? With the summer solstice? I mean, that's not like that far off. You guys are like far enough north that like summer solstice really like hits ya. You know? We fear the ice age every year. God, that must be nice. We didn't get a single freeze this year, so I can't relate. I think I fear melting and sunburns more than anything. I'm really realizing, especially the older I get, skincare is super important. I need to do better with that. Your girl here is extremely low maintenance. If you couldn't tell by my hair, I roll out of bed and this is what you get. I'm extremely lazy. Like I brush my teeth. I do like the basics for hygiene, but like, yeah, the other stuff, not so much. And I'm realizing as I get older, the Florida sun wreaks havoc on my skin and I need to start doing something about it. Today, the day length was 17.5 hours. Oh my God. That's kind of insane. I want to experience stuff like that though. One day I'll spend a good chunk of time up north somewhere and see what it's like. But yeah, okay gang, with that, I think we're wrapping up. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always. Let me see if we can raid anybody. Is anybody live? No, not really. That's okay, because I probably gotta go and get a snack too. It's good to have you back. It's really good to be back. This was refreshing. I cannot wait to play Baldur's Gate tomorrow. Pray that my shift is better than today's. Yeah. I will, dude. I wish you the best. As I've said, I don't know how you work, especially recovering from burnout. Throwing me in a fast food environment like that would, I feel like, send me into a spiral. Maybe things are just better in Finland. I don't know. But like, yes, I always wish you luck. Godspeed to everyone. Hope all of your work shifts are great. Whatever you're doing, I wish you the best. Bye, Miley. Thanks for hanging out. I'm so excited to play Baldur's Gate tomorrow. Let's go. Yeah, bye Jack. Good to have you back. Yeah, I'm so excited to be back. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. And thank you for hanging out with me, especially after a long time away. I can't wait to see you tomorrow or just see you whenever. Yeah. Can't wait. Happy to be back. Thanks guys. Bye.